product knowledge, expertise in the industry. Would you want me to charge you more for less coverage?
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining my channel. Today I am with Elijah John, and we've talked a little bit more on other episodes if you wanted to check that out. My name is Katsu Murkotic. I am the founder of Compass Rose Connections, and I wanted to ask Elijah a little bit more about his line of work. Elijah, welcome back to the channel. First thing I want to ask is, how would you say that faith has played a role in your line of work?
Prayer. Very important. I pray daily, every morning, every night, even sometimes before appointments. Try not to go a day or night without praying. And especially when I was financially down before, prayer has helped me stay afloat.
All right. And then what would you say, drives you to do all that you do? Because I know that you really put yourself out there a lot. What would you say is like you're driving your soul to do as much as you have?
I want to provide a great life for my family, and I want to be financially free. I want to be able to go to Paris whenever I want, buy my woman a Louis Vuitton bag if that's what she wants, and just be financially free, be worry free, and just overall financially free once again.
And then what would you say is one life lesson that you live by?
Karma. How you treat people is how you get treated. Business wise, doing right by your client, by making sure you are not commission driven, they are going to refer more business to you.
Since you started being a life insurance broker, what would you say is the biggest change that you've seen in this industry since the beginning?
When it comes to building teams, recently I've noticed on social media like TikTok, there's like a war going on between normal life insurance brokers and then people that work just for Primerica, because Primerica bashes certain policies just because they don't offer those types of policies, and the policies that they have were not as good as what we provide. I'm not saying what Primerica is bad or anything. However, Primerica is good for a certain type of demographic. I'm just going to say that low income families, low income households, basically. Once again, not bashing Primerica. Also, when it comes to recruiting, you have a lot of agencies or teams that are multi-level marketing. They will just recruit without providing value and training and making sure that the agents that they recruited are successful. So whenever I recruit, I want to make sure my team is solid. I want to make sure that my team is hitting its goals. I just don't want to be recruiting left and right, because like I said in the previous episode, as I'm recruiting friends.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that you said about how value is really important. How would you explain the value of life insurance to someone that is skeptical?
Let's take you for an example. You're around 28 years old. Do you have any children?
No.
So somebody in your shoes, I would recommend a small entry level permanent life insurance plan. If you can handle or contribute a policy that uh, generates equity, where you're treating it like it's an investment vehicle. Let's say you want to do $300 a month into the stock market, but you don't want to subject yourself into a high risk product or market. And then I would recommend putting $300 a month into a max funded index universal life policy. You're still going to be receiving stock market returns without the risk of any loss. So talk to me after that and I can let you set up.
I love that. So, what would you say in your own words makes a really good life insurance agent?
Someone that is very well rounded with product knowledge, expertise in the industry. Um, they have good support from the carriers and a team that's knowledgeable that can help them out with any case design. But most importantly, is someone that their clients and the public can trust. Someone that is reputable. Someone that is believes in religion, perhaps, maybe.
Alright, and then earlier you mentioned about how, with my age and not having kids, that a certain policy would work for me. How do you personalize each policy for each client?
Needs based analysis. What is best for my client?
I think that a common stipulation about life insurance is that people have to wait for to deal with death. Why do you feel as if people procrastinate this, and how can you help this be moved along?
Just provide education. show people what life insurance can do for them. So once you just show people like, hey, if you get sick, your life insurance policy can pay you. I tell people start early because when you're younger and healthier, cost of insurance is cheaper.
Let's go back to what you mentioned about how outreach at networking events has really, transformed you and like bringing you new clients. How would you say that it has changed your career in the networking events?
Let me touch up on how I can help and add value to other people. Some people in my network said, hey, Elijah, do you know somebody that is good at marketing? I need a marketing agency. I need a website done. I need social media content advisor, let's say, pinpoint them into your direction. So I get a good feeling when I do that.
Right. And you like to be like, building bridges between different industries. I know that you mentioned in other episodes how Rank Runners has, been able to help you out a lot. And we're actually working on maybe potentially creating you a website. So looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it.
What is your goal that you have when you do enter these networking events? Like, do you have a certain quota that you want to hit as far as talking to people, or what's your goal as far as that?
So in terms of talking to people, I try to talk to as many people as I can, expose myself to as much as I can. In terms of booking appointments, I try to book at least 2 or 3 appointments per event. Try to go to at least 2 events per week, which equates to about 8 per month. And then let's just say I hit 2 appointments per event. So that's 16 appointments per month. At, let's say, a 50% closing rate, that's 8 policies at minimum that I've closed per month. So that's one metric and one goal that I have. Outside of booking appointments, I try to gain referral partners. Let's say they already have life insurance, but they may know people who don't. Everybody knows people who don't have life insurance and that needs it. So I try to position myself as the go-to person. In addition to that, my number 3 goal is to gain followers on social media, grow my audience and client base like that.
Okay, and what is the number one tip that you would tell somebody if it was their first time going to a networking event?
Number 1 tip is just do it. You got to get out there. Um, the more you get out there, the better. The more you are going to improve, be better at your craft.
On that topic, what's one thing that you would tell families, in order to protect their future?
God forbid, would you want your family to struggle financially, have to move from that beautiful home that you worked very hard to obtain? Would you want to see your family result to a GoFundMe page if they don't have the financial means to cough up $15,000-$20,000 for a nice funeral for you? Don't be selfish. Hate that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely really important. Why do you feel as if someone should trust you to be their advisor as far as getting life insurance?
I also talk about generational wealth. Not life insurance can help build generational wealth, but to talk about trust. If you're looking for life insurance, you want to make sure you trust your advisor. Regardless if they are handling your investments, life insurance, your real estate properties, whatever it is, you want to trust them.
All right, and then final words for this episode. Why is now the time to start with this?
Now is the time. Now is the best time because you're younger, healthier, cost of insurance, the rates are lower. If you wait years, whatever, 5, 10 years, your health can diminish. And finding the best life insurance plans for you could be more challenging. Would you want me to charge you more for less coverage, or would you want to buy more coverage at a lower rate?
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Elijah, for joining Compass Rose Connections podcast. And if you want any more information about what he can do to help you out, if you need any more questions about life insurance, Elijah is definitely your person. And I'll put a link below on how you can get in touch with him. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Yeah.